Hey everybody, it's me back, the review critic, a slash, aka Adam Snyder. I'm awesome, I know. Anyway, my point is, I just finished reviewing the Batman movie 1989, my movie I reviewed. Well, to continue the series, as I mentioned at the very end of the video, that I would continue the series and review the second movie, Batman Returns, that was released in 1992, as you can see right here on this this DVD collection edition I have. Anyway, so Batman Returns. It stars Michael Keaton as Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and of course Danny DeVito as the Penguin. And of course you got Christopher Walken as Max Schreck, the evil businessman. They always are in those movies anyway, why? Well anyway, Tim Burton, who directed the original, returns to direct this one. And of course, after the huge and very unexpected success of Batman 1989, they told Tim Burton that not only did he have a much bigger budget this time, it was more than double. The original movie's budget was about $35 million. This one had about $80 million budget. So he had a much bigger budget, and they also said to him, because he did a really good job in the first one. I just want to make a quick point on the 1989 Batman movie. I did not mention Tim Burton's, what I gave him as a director. As a director, I think he did a 4-star job. Did a really good job. Anyway, on to the point. So basically, they said to him, okay, you got this huge budget, make a Batman movie, you do whatever you want. It can be your style, anything. Just whatever you want, right? He has complete control. Well, whether that was a mistake or not, who knows? But here we go. We're going to get right into it. Batman Returns. Alright, so Batman Returns is about Batman, of course, who is played again by Michael Keaton, who is my favorite personal Batman. I think he's better than all the other Batmans, pretty much combined. And this time it's about, it's got the new villains with Catwoman and Penguin. Well, anyway, the story's pretty basic. It's really just about Penguin who wants to know about his parents because when he was a little baby penguinlet, or whatever they call baby penguins, he gets tossed in the river in the sewers where he was supposed to die, but these penguins find him and they're just, like, ooh, hey. So they take care of him and raise him. And it's about, of course, Michelle Pfeiffer playing Selena Kyle, who turns into Catwoman, just her story, just everything. This movie, once again, does not have a really cohesive... it's got a strong plot, maybe a little more cohesive than Batman 1989. But I just gotta say, this movie really is... One thing anyone that reviews this movie will tell you, it's really dark. This is a really dark movie. There's some dark scenes. The characters are dark. There's no happy moments. Like in Batman 1989, it was dark, but you had plenty of goofy, campy, happy moments. And you had the whole parade scene at the end with Prince's theme song. You had the scene where the Joker goes in, he does the little dance in the art museum, and they're breaking stuff, and they're dancing like this, and all that stuff, and, they're painting everything, and, everything. You had those kind of moments, and then my favorite moment of the Joker scenes was probably when he's watching the news, and he sees that Batman's cracked his code. He takes out this, mini shotgun with 2 bullets, and he just goes, I have found a name for my pain, and it is Batman. So I've always thought that was a great scene. But anyway, my point is, there really is no, bright scene in this movie. It's really a dark movie. It's all serious, and it's sad. The ending is really lukewarm, sad, really at best. It's really bittersweet. It's not happy. It makes you feel empty. And that's what I think a lot of people have a problem with this movie. The ending of Batman 1989 makes you feel complete. It makes you like you had watched a great movie. When you finish Batman Returns, it gives you this feeling like there needs to be more. Where's the other 30 minutes of this movie? It doesn't feel complete. It just feels empty at the end. So anyway, now I'm going to go into and so basically, this movie did get massively criticized for the dark, depressing, and very, quite disgusting at times humor and all the sexual innuendos. And that it was not a kids movie. Actually, McDonald's was actually going to do a promotion deal, and they actually made some toys. You can even pull up a commercial of it online. But anyway, they actually had to pull the promotion because they got so many complaints from parents that this was not a kids movie, should not be promoted as a kids movie. And it definitely isn't. I don't recommend anyone under the age of 13 to see this movie. Really 14. It's a really dark, serious movie. So let's get into the review. Alright, overall, I find, of course... First off, we're going to review the main character, or the superhero, I should say, Batman. Bruce Lashley's going to play Michael Keaton. It's very similar to his 89 performance. There's not really much else I can say. That's just he's a great Batman. I find him he's really intimidating as Batman, and he's just great. So that's all I'll say there. I'm gonna move on to the next step. The villains, and there's not one, not even two, but really actually three villains. Now the reason the three villains are Catwoman, Danny DeVito, and Max Schreck. Well, let me start with the businessman Max Schreck. Though he is not a comic book character, as I recall, he actually is a really cool addition to this movie. Though I might just be saying that because I'm a massive Christopher Walken fan, so maybe I'm just saying that, but I think he's a great addition to this movie. He's a great villain, and he's got, he's a cliche villain, and he's not that great of a character, though I do really enjoy him being in the movie. He just fits well, and Christopher Walken playing him was perfect. Now onto the really two big characters. Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I have really mixed feelings, not just on his performance, but on his character. I'm not really after I watched this movie recently. After I saw this, I was not extremely happy with his performance. It comes off as way over the top and way too serious for Penguin. There's like too much. Too much. It was like too many, there was just so many scenes that the Penguin did in this movie that he would never have done in the comics and that I didn't care for. Like, for example, the one scene when he's being introduced as the mayor, and then he just randomly bites that guy's nose and blood starts oozing out of his face. There were just moments like that just felt so random. It just was unnecessary, So I just was not a big fan of that moment. There were other just other moments that I was not a big fan of. To be honest, I liked the look, and I did like Penguin's movie. I did actually like his performance for this movie. As a Penguin fan, because with Penguin being one of my favorite villains, as a Penguin, I didn't like it at all. It doesn't look anything like Penguin. It acts like nothing like Penguin. And like the saying goes, there's a quack, doesn't act like a duck. It's not a duck. It's not a penguin. In this movie, I simply look at this as a bird that Tim Burton created, a bird creature. It's just not Penguin. I'm sorry. Danny DeVito does an alright job, I think, but I'm not a particularly big fan of Penguin's movie. Now onto the villain. I'm really pleased with this movie, Catwoman. I pretty much nailed her in this movie. I mean, they got everything right about her. The conniving, deceiving person she can be, but also the kind-hearted and sweet and the misguided person she is. She really plays it both ways in the movie. She helps Penguin, and she helps Batman, just like in the comics. Michelle Pfeiffer does a great way of playing Catwoman, as portraying her as this woman who just have no clue in the world of what or who she is. And I liked it. So everything with Catwoman's movie, I liked. I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought she did a great job as a character. So she deservedly gets a high rating. So anyway, as far as the rest of the supporting cast, it's like Batman. It's not really strong. There's not really a lot of supporting characters that are noteworthy or anything interesting. There's still Alfred. The only who does a good job, played by Michael Coughlin again. He would actually reprise his role for also Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Can't wait to have to review that movie. Anyway, and then of course there's Police Commissioner played by, what's his name? Whatever, the guy that plays James Corden. He plays him also in Batman, and has a nurse, and also plays him again in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Interesting enough, the guy that plays Commissioner Gordon seems to get, his biggest role is in Batman and Robin. And each movie, up to that, he gets more and more screen time. He's got a little screen time in Batman, some here, and then a kind of a fair amount in Batman and Forever, and then he's actually got there's a lot of scenes that I recall, well not a lot, but there's quite a fair amount of scenes in Batman and Robin. So anyway, overall the supporting cast is okay. I like Alfred a lot. Besides that, there's just not much else, and I didn't care for Max Schreck's son. He felt just kind of thrown in there. All of the Penguin's assistants I didn't care for. I wasn't big on supporting cast this movie. It's not like they weren't crap, they were just okay. So overall, those were okay. As far as the story goes, it's good. I like it. I like the story told. I like how it's the Penguin in this movie, like in the comics, he's not out for money, really. He's not out for revenge or power. He just wants to be accepted by society, and like as a normal human being. And I'm glad they kept that aspect of the Penguin. I thought that was perfect. So overall, I do like this. I do like Batman Returns overall. I like it. Now, of course, when it was first released, a lot of people, this was released in June 1992, by the way, did not like it due to its dark, serious, and depressing tones, and quite gruesome scenes at times. But you know what? I love it. I mean, I don't love it, but I really like it. I enjoy it. A lot of it's good. And I can see why people don't like it, but I think people are starting to become more accepting of it, actually, over the span of time. Also, one thing I better go is I'm at Fred reviews the script. The stories are, well, like I said, really good. So anyway, that's all good. Everything about this movie is good, is decent to really good. The really good stuff being Catwoman and Batman 2, the okay to me spring characters Penguin. One thing I did, actually I take that Penguin was good. I just didn't like all the, whatever, I liked him, though, overall. One thing that I did not like in this movie was the one scene when, Penguin, now, the thing about Batman's tech, not even the Joker can break into it, okay? The Joker, the smartest of all the villains, period. Okay, it's in the comics. No one can touch his technology. They can't crack it. They can't steal it. I hate it. There's two scenes in the movie I just hate. Like, when I see them, I just hate. And it's just me. But the one scene when Batman throws the Batarang and that poodle catches it somehow, I was thinking to myself, and runs off with it, I was thinking to myself, no. That Batarang would have taken its head off. That poodle's head off. No, it wouldn't have caught a bull. So I didn't like that scene at all. And then I didn't like the scene where those clowns are able to somehow invent some little machine that opens up all the shields for Batman's mobile. They put this tracker under it that they symbol, able to close the shields, and they're able to control his car. Like, all of that, I just like, for those, and then, of course, there's the whole scene of Penguin controlling the car, riding it in his little own trailer, and making Batman run over crap. That whole 10 minutes or whatever, that whole scene, I just kind of try to forget about that. I don't like it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being picky. But to me, Batman's tech is so advanced that no one is supposed to be able to crack it. The only one that should is the Joker, and he's not. He doesn't even do that. So just for these goofball freaks that somehow can figure it out that they never talk at all. So we have no idea whether they're geniuses or not. They're able to just to break it and just figure it out. I just really did not like that. I mean, overall, I just didn't like it. I just thought it was stupid, and it's not something that would happen at Batman film. So that I didn't like. The only other thing I will say about this movie that I didn't care for is how massively they rip off the Joker. I mean, think about it. The clowns. Those are Penguin's assistants are clowns. He worked at a circus. Joker. There's two Joker things. They jump out of boxes when they first do their attack in the beginning of the movie. Another Joker trick. They rip off the Joker so massively. It's almost like they didn't want to have to pay Jack Nicholson millions of dollars for the Joker again. They just wanted to have the Joker in there somehow in spirit form, I guess, which they really try to do. So overall, I don't personally love this movie. I don't hate it. I do like it. I do enjoy it. Overall, I will give it out of a 10. I give it 7 out of a 10. It's enjoyable, though it's really dark. You have to be a hardcore Batman fan to, I think, really get it. And I think for the average fan, though I do recommend for the average fan and for normal fan weather fans, I don't highly recommend it. So if you see it and you get freaked out by it or don't like it, I'm just saying I warned you. So I do not recommend anyone in the age of really 13 to 14 to see it. Alright, so overall 7 out of a 10. It's worth giving it a shot, but I don't highly recommend it. If you don't like it, well, I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, watch for my next video where I will reveal the third movie in the series, Batman Forever.